I have been wanting to race against an e-bike for a while now and have been trying to plan a video around that. That is what this was supposed to be, but as so many other things, plans changed.
Hey.
Hey, you got a second?
Got a quick one.
And
what'd you do?
I cracked it. And that was on the first crash. And then on the second one.
So this is Chandler. His father once said he could break an anvil, but other than that, he is a good dude.
Watching Disney Channel.
Work it, work it. He's going to Clemson in the fall, and he used to be a tosser of pizzas. He works at the bike shop, and I chose him to go with me on this adventure because he has some pretty good handling skills, but he doesn't really train. He was also available on a Wednesday. So the initial purpose of this video was to really test out the Rise, the Orbea Rise, on a longer, ended up being like 35-ish miles bike ride, and see if the Rise would be able to take someone from not being able to sit on my wheel for more than a mile to being able to trade hard efforts with me for 35 of those miles. And if you haven't seen my previous video on the Rise, I'll leave a link somewhere in one of these corners here. I met Chandler at the infamous Poston Park trailhead with the plan to hopscotch from Greenway to Greenway until we arrived at the Rocky Branch Trail, which really isn't that too far away.
Wait for me! I'm not warmed up yet.
We would then proceed to ride all of Rocky Branch at a fun party pace, and then increase the speed on the commute back, and finally we would race for the win at Poston.
Wait till I unplug your battery.
Sorry, turn this motor off. Oh God.
I went ahead and took Chandler to the easiest course that's out there because it's kind of off by itself. It's this new jump line they put in. It is the perfect little beginner trail because everything on it is so easy, but if you want to kind of jump something a little bigger, you can practice that out here, but the landings are so good, so smooth, that I swear you could come off the lip of these things like sideways and still be fine out here. This is a great beginner trail. People that did Rocky Branch did a great job.
It's not really a drop.
But once we got finished with that, I really wanted to take Chandler and see how this e-bike would ride on the hardest trail out at Rocky Branch. It's really nothing terribly difficult, but it's surprising that it is out here and this close to a downtown. Like, it had to take a lot of manpower to bring in all of these rocks. It's got a few rock gardens, got some skinnies. If you want to practice in the Gastonia, Charlotte area for harder trails, this is something great to session. They did a good job, man. I was thoroughly impressed. So we really wanted to use this opportunity to show off the trails to Chandler, show off what Rocky Branch is kind of all about, let him get used to the actual mountain bike, and then once we got back to Poston Park, I was gonna say 1, 2, 3, go, and we were just gonna race. So the rock gardens aren't super difficult out here, but Chandler was on his dad's bike. He usually rides clipless, a lot of new factors, right? I was showing him the trail.
Yow! Oh, well, I missed the turn.
But there's two lines, right? Two lines right here. The left line is the more fun, fast line. You kind of just have to hook off this rock, skip a couple roots, and it's not that bad, actually. Chandler was like, well, before I attempt that on my Padres e-bike, let me just try the easier line. So I said, screw it, I'll film you doing whichever one you want to do. I'll film it. Or I'll film you coming down this, I don't care. Well, thank God I got that. What?
Oh. Oh. I broke it.
Well, that's not broken. That's just cracked.
I maybe should have looked at that before I jumped into it.
And that hit that rock perfect. Well, I got it on video at least.
Sorry, Dad.
I said, don't break your dad's bike.
Dude, I should have probably looked at it more before I just jumped in.
Oh, dude, you're bleeding.
Yeah?
Something scratched the out of your leg.
I don't know what scratched it.
Looks like a freaking saber-toothed tiger came by and scratched it.
Rawr, go Clemson, right?
Hey, Chandler, your Clemson fun's now going towards a new rear triangle. Yeah, at least it won't be wasted.
Oh, God, at least I broke a frame for something.
Just the rear triangle. And when he hit the ground, I honestly didn't think it was that bad. Watching the video now, you can hear the crack of the frame. Still can't really tell you what happened. I think he just hit it wrong. I think he just wasn't used to the bike. Slipped out a little bit. But dude, it broke that rear triangle. So I was like, well, there goes our race video. I guess we just need to ride back as easily as we can. Don't hit anything big. Take it slow if you need to. When we get back on the pavement, we'll go ahead and ramp it up a little bit, play around. But with that rear triangle being cracked, I didn't want it to get any worse before we actually get back to Poston Park where the vehicles are. About at this point, it was a half-hour ride back to the truck. So as we were taking it easy, we're just goofing off and laughing about, I can't believe you just crashed the bike after I told you not to. And Chandler literally just finished saying, well, I guess at least I didn't get hurt. You know, I mean, it might have been easier if I got hurt because then I don't have to pay to fix this bicycle.
This actual drop is the ball.
The hell happened? I just asked you. You alright?
I don't know.
Just sit there and give it a second.
Yeah, I think I'm done. Okay, get it on video. Views. Oh, what the happened to me, Cameron?
You were riding really good up until just a second ago.
Yeah, I myself up on that one.
I think you put your hand out.
I did. My leg got wrapped up in the bike. Yep, that's the good one I could feel.
Oh yeah, that's gonna sting like hell. Think you'll be able to put it on turbo and make it back?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're not gonna pass out, I can go get the truck. Come back and get you.
I need to get out of the woods.
Well, right down there's the greenway, so we can hit it and head back on the pavement.
Oh, I'm sorry to up our ride.
Dude, you're good.
Holy
No more e-bikes for Chandler.
dude, holy, my wrist is
You probably just jammed it.
Yeah, I didn't break it, but it's definitely...
What about, can you make a fist?
Yeah, so it's not broken.
Yeah, so you're fine. It's just gonna be sore as tomorrow.
Holy my hip, though. Let's get out of the woods. I'm kind of done.
Like I said, I can go get the truck. It'll just take me 30 minutes.
You could take this if you want.
I didn't get to see it. I saw him like right after he landed. But let me rewind this. Just listen to the sound.
This actual drop is the ball.
I thought he was dead. As soon as I turned around, I'm like, well, that's the end of my year. Like, Chandler just died. He is dead. That was the hardest sounding crash I've heard in a very long time. He still has no idea how he did it. Don't know if he just hit pedal strike or something. Like, Chandler is a decent mountain bike handler. There's no reason he should have crashed on this. So I can't begin to tell you what happened other than maybe he hit the pedal off the lip of this thing and just fell straight to the bottom. But dude, that sounded terrible. I did my best, guys. I am not a paramedic. I know about as much as the next person, but I made sure that his helmet was fine. He didn't have any scrapes on it somehow. He said he felt okay. I told him I would ride back and get the truck, but I didn't want him to just be there alone and pass out or anything like that. So I was trying to, in my head, just get him to ride back with me, which he ended up getting back on the bike. And thank God it's an e-bike or he wouldn't have been riding back with me. Here, I'll push that thing.
No, I'm good.
Just leave that thing in turbo and sit on. We're like 20 minutes out. You feel a little better since you're moving? We can go around the ramp. Yeah, we ain't gotta hang on going down these stairs. Two little hills. You're still making me suffer. Chandler can break an anvil. And Chandler, you did great. You rode the entire way back. I know that had to be difficult and that had to feel like it was freaking a 50-mile ride back to the car. I loaded the bike up for him and he called to break the news to his father that he has severely broken one of his favorite toys. Let me load that thing up for you.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Hey, well, actually, before you do that, grab my phone.
And by God, you didn't even scratch the paint. You just cracked it.
Hey,
Hey, you got a second?
what'd you do?
I cracked it.
Cracked what?
Your rear triangle, your rear swing arm, your lower one.
Okay.
And that was on the first crash. And then on the second one, basically just like fell off a really tall bridge, essentially. I mean, at this point, I've already rode it all the way back, and I'm just here at the truck. But yeah, I tore myself up pretty good, so.
Are you going to end up going to the emergency room?
I don't think so. I think it's just a lot of hurting and just cleaning out.
What's hurting?
Everything. So.
You beat yourself up pretty good on that one.
Oh,
You took that pretty good.
yeah.
I wish I could have got a video of Chandler's hip the next day because his hip, dude. I've had an injury like this before. That hip is gonna hurt for a while. It was pretty dang deep and it bruises very, very easily. And then every time you try to pedal a bike or walk, anything like that, it hurts like heck. All right, well, Chandler survived, thankfully, but he did have to buy a new rear triangle for his dad's bike. Luckily though, Orbea actually had the exact rear triangle, same matching color. Thankfully, he broke it within the same model year. He didn't break the front triangle, thank God, but he did nick the crank is messed up a little bit. The rear brake caliper has a pretty bad scuff on it, but all things considered, I think turned out okay. Brian came in, he wanted to learn how to do this himself anyway, so we kind of helped him along when he had questions. We showed him what to do with the e-bike as far as replacing the rear triangle, and him and Chandler replaced it themselves. What started out as a video about me racing an e-bike, and I wanted to do more of an in-depth review on the Orbea Rise, it ended up being a video about Chandler hurting himself before he goes off to college. You know, what did we learn today? I guess we learned don't let Chandler ride e-bikes. Other than that, I don't know. I just had to share this story with you. But we started out talking about how we're gonna do this video, planned it out, and then he just all of a sudden just does a 10-foot drop right onto his face. Yeah, I'm glad you're okay. This is a good learning experience about Orbea's customer service as well, so thank you, Orbea, for taking care of this bike. Let's move along to the next one. We are racing coming up. That will be my next video. Let's get started. Love you all. Bye-bye.
And then that's the spot. I kind of hope that scar's like that.
That looks the worst out of all of them.
Yeah.
And that was the lightest one.
Yeah, that was from the first one. Kind of terrible.
Breaks his dad's bike and then makes him put it back together himself.
Yep.
Jeez.
I got it made. I got to figure it out.
Something's wrong with this. Pretty sure.